It's John and Rachel, YaJagoff, late night, our 17th episode. We're almost to 20, but that's okay. It's the 17th, and we're doing something big. We always talked about wearing T-shirts for a cause.
That lasted
we did that.
four
we
times,
did that the
maybe?
first time
Yeah.
we didn't rush here.
Yeah.
But today we are wearing red because it's February 2nd, which is Groundhog Day, but also a very important day, Go Red for Women Day.
Yeah, and I love that I didn't recall. You did. You know,
Yeah.
when you got up, you were like, we need to wear red today. It's very important. So thanks to you.
So
Appreciate
it's
that.
reminding all women that it's time to go be heart healthy, be stroke healthy, get checked out, because women don't typically have the same symptoms that men have for heart attacks. So it kind of comes in quietly.
John.
So anyways,
Newsflash from
all
John
right.
Chamberlain.
So this is the YaJagoff podcast. If you're listening on Q92.9, make sure you come back next Friday. If you're listening on the podcast or watching on the YouTube feed, what do? You subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You asked me, but you answered. So that was good.
Right.
Because I don't always know to subscribe. I just have that. I already clicked the button. We want to tell you about our blogs. Every day we write a blog post, typically about Pittsburghers done wrong. So we choose a couple that we want to remind you about. John, what's first up?
First one is, I hate when people go to the soda fountain, whether it's anywhere, it's all self-serve. Listen, it's refillable, so you don't have to fill it to the top every time. So when I'm waiting for you to wait for your foam to go down, I just fill it. You don't have to go.
Where were you that this annoyed you so much for this? I'm sorry.
Just fill it. Fill it.
Did you notice I sort of stepped on his...
Yeah. Just fill it.
Go ahead.
Go away. Come back. Get more.
Do it again.
Right. You don't need to do it, you Jagoffs. Just come back and get more later.
All right. And then we were driving together, of course, and we were in my area right here in North Hills. I warned you last week that this was going to make it to the blog, and it did. Someone was holding the flag on the opposite end, and they were actually waving the wooden part instead of the actual flag. And we got a really good picture of it. And it's right at the corner of our streets, Monica, so you might see it yourself.
And the funny thing is, you make fun of yourself not being able to take good pictures, and you took a great couple of pictures.
I took about 14.
Yeah, to get
I
two
just
good
kept
ones. Right.
Yeah, it was very
Right.
good. The movement of the wave of the
Right.
flag was not easy.
Right.
And of course we would be remiss, because if you didn't notice, we have done away with our question of the day just for the last couple of weeks, because something big is happening. Next Friday, February 9th, we are going to play a rerun of our very first episode here at YaJagoff Late Night, because we will be at the Pierce Studio over in the Cultural Trust playing Name That Tune
YaJagoff
with PTL. We do
Right.
it every year. It's our third annual, and this year it's Pittsburgh guys for Name That Tune YaJagoff. So they basically and we have to name that tune. So we thought we might as well really get some practice. So we've been having our guests play. So that's what we're gonna do again tonight. Monica has, her little card already that
Right.
she's gonna just play a couple songs.
And
we guess.
you brought up the guests. The guests are Mitch. See if you get that right?
The silence is D-U-G-A-N.
They knew it.
Yeah.
Virginia from the Pittsburgh Magazine has a big announcement.
If you didn't see, she actually finally, today, the magazines came. So you'll see who the Pittsburgher
but
of the year
nobody
is.
knows it till you watch or listen to this.
There you go. And last but not least, our quarterly guest, Josh Axelrod. Super excited to catch up with him, find out what's going on at the Post-Gazette, and some, of course, famous people he's interviewed. And Ben from the Kahone Concept is coming on.
Thanks to Adam at Dresky, Adam Balin. So
How about that?
We got
Super
it.
stoked for tonight. If you're not here, you're missing out on a good time. You need to come
a
to
crowd
another
here.
one. Yeah, it's a great crowd. And we're going to jump in and talk to some great Yinzers. So listen in on YaJagoff Late Night.
If my younger self could see me doing these things now, I wouldn't believe it. To be a steam fitter, you need to be a problem solver. You can do instrumentation, hydronics, chillers, rigging, HVAC. I have this wonderful opportunity to grow my career.
It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are. Over 100 years, and we're just getting started.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
Rach, I have to vent. Here's my dryer vent. This one time, I found a Lee press-on nail in my dryer stuff, and
It was not
Vom
mine.
in the throat, vom in the throat.
Ugh.
One time, my kids left Kleenexes from one of their worst whooping coughs in their pocket.
Guys, you guys are such jagoffs. That's not the type of dryer venting we're talking about. We professionally clean your dryer vent to increase your dry time and save you guys some money.
For
So
4
wet,
hours.
like 10 pounds
You
wet.
jagoffs, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
John and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night. We got the high sign to stop talking because, of course, Josh Axelrod from the Post-Gazette is here. It's easy for us to get off topic and want to just chat with him about all of the amazing people who he's interviewed.
Right. And in the meantime, behind us, you can see lots of people chatting. This is what you could do if you come up to 5000 McKnight Road on Fridays. Not next Friday, of course. At 5:30, you can get some cocktails, get some pizza, or some snacks. But in the meantime, Josh, this is the first time we've really ever had you in a real, somewhat podcast setting. We usually have you out in the hot sun.
No, he
out-
was here once.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I was about to correct you.
Oh,
almost said that to him
right,
too, but
right.
yeah, he's
Oh,
been
I
here one
forgot
time.
it. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Okay.
He was
More-
like our third episode, I think.
Well, I was going to say, more importantly, for once you're having me first and not following like an actual saint.
True.
So I appreciate that you're not making me follow
that in
some
your
like,
rider now?
amazing person.
Yeah,
That's in my contract. Right next to the green M&Ms.
I love it. That's my favorite. So obviously, as always, you've written some great stories over the last couple of weeks.
I
And
try.
obviously, since we have talked to you, and we were reminiscing that the last we talked, we were coming out of the strike.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time we were talked, last time we talked, everything was still shut down.
Yeah.
So everything's back. Well, okay, that's a strong way
Yeah,
to put
that's-
it.
that's
But
a
at
lot.
the very least, SAG and the WGA have contracts, and we have something filming here again.
Now,
Yeah.
do you get
People
the
have
sense
jobs.
that those who have jobs in that field here, they're back to working pretty much full force? Or
Whoever could get a job on season 3 of Mayor of Kingstown, at least.
Okay.
I can't account for anything else because that's only one show, but it is a pretty massive undertaking.
Yeah.
The last time they were here for season 2, I want to say they were here for a good 3 or 4 months. So I mean,
Wow.
that's
Oh,
a
wow.
solid.
I didn't realize
that's
that.
a solid quarter, third of a year of work right there for some people. And
For sure.
I know their casting director is going bananas trying to fill all of these like ticky-tacky little parts that like these very specific Taylor Sheridan parts that the show needs.
are they ever looking for podcasters?
You can ask.
I like how he just passed it on to you.
The
Like,
show-
he's not asking.
The show's
Yeah.
a little low tech. I don't know if
I got you.
if they have room for that, but hey, it's technically set
You-
in modern times. So who
Now,
knows?
That's it.
have you ever actually gone to be an extra in a movie?
No.
No, you've never.
Not your jam.
That's
No,
not.
I've done set visits, but I haven't
Okay.
actually been on camera for anything.
Okay.
Although, whatever. The balcony of a previous apartment does appear in season 1 of American Rust.
Okay, there
Boom.
you go. You're like,
Did he not just tell us not to talk
Yeah.
personal? And he throws in the balcony.
Yeah, that's why I hesitated. But you know what? Whatever.
Whatever.
I'm
Anything
not
goes.
going to tell you what scene it was in. but
Anything goes.
I,
There
ca-
you
I,
go.
ca- I caught it pretty quickly.
Do you find yourself really getting involved in the movies and the shows that you're covering? Like, is there a time that you go, this wasn't what I thought? And of course, you wouldn't write it that way. You're very eloquent in the way that you write it. But after you've spoken to some of these people, do you find yourself like immersed in what they're doing more? Or do you kind of go, that was okay? Depends on.
I mean, chances are good after I talk to someone, I'm going to root for them harder. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to want
Sure.
them to succeed. I mean, it's certainly better, especially if they're a Pittsburgh person, like, it's certainly better for my line of work
Yes.
if they succeed and they do more cool things I get to talk to them about.
Yeah.
But even if something is only okay, or, I mean, there have certainly been occasions where I thought something was bad and I still had to interview
Yes.
a person about it. I think I've gotten pretty good at being diplomatic.
You are diplomatic, no question.
Like, I think even in my negative reviews, like I just reviewed the new Mean Girls movie, which
right. That's a great example.
not my
'cause-
favorite.
Yes.
Not terrible, but definitely not my favorite. Solid 2 out of 4 stars. I thought I was about as nice in my review as I could have possibly.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
I
yeah,
did-
and that's what I was going for.
And I did interview Jaquel Spivey, the Point Park grad who played Damien in that movie, and we had a lovely chat. He was one of the best parts of that movie, so that also helps.
And you wrote that. Yeah.
That also helps when the people, even in a bad movie, are one of the best parts.
Sure.
Makes my life easier.
There you go, especially when they have Point Park behind them, right?
Right. Now, Loren Allred, just on TV, making. Did
Yeah.
you know her before she got into all these contests? But she was
Well-
pretty popular prior to this.
No, the whole point of this is that she wasn't.
Right. Well, but I mean,
which again,
she had credentials.
If
If you read his four
yes,
stories.
I wrote this.
No, but I mean, she had credentials, I guess.
She did.
Wrote
She
one.
did.
And the
Yes.
fact is, like, she was literally under the radar with these extremely good credentials.
I mean, I will fully admit that when I first saw The Greatest Showman, I had no reason to believe that wasn't Rebecca Ferguson singing Never Enough.
Okay.
Sure.
But it
Yeah.
turns out that was Northside native Loren Allred.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then she just appeared on America's Got Talent, I guess a couple weeks ago, kind of blew everyone away with her a new version of Never Enough. She keeps covering that song because it's it really showcases her vocal range.
Yeah.
But she
And
got famous on the British version of it first before she came over here,
once
right?
again, got famous is strong, but she at least got into the America's Got
Yeah.
Talent
Yeah.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
I'm only
There you
I'm
go.
only saying
I
that,
love this.
I'm only saying that because the whole point of her story is that
I get it.
she was pretty shy as a kid. She never wanted
Yeah.
to sing, and then when she finally started trying to break into the music industry, she
Sure.
hit some hurdles and quit. But then she got this Never Enough gig, and that eventually she was like, I need to get back into this world and let people know who I am. And that's how she ended up on Britain's Got Talent, and that's how she met Simon Cowell. And so the show she was on
Yes.
this time was
Yes, yeah.
America's Got Talent Fantasy League,
Right.
which is, I guess, the first time they've ever done an all-star America's Got
Yes.
Talent. And Simon was like, you know what? I want Loren on my team. And he's the one that got her to sing Never Enough again.
Yeah.
And he's the one that got her to do the biggest version of Over the Rainbow I've ever heard in
Yeah.
my life.
Well, I was
I've never heard
watching-
anyone belt on that song before.
I was watching it and I was thinking, like, that's Rachel's
one of my favorite songs.
things.
Yeah.
And I thought, actually, I wasn't all that pleased with her version of it. Like, I thought,
Same. I'm
don't
glad you
mess
said that.
with the don't mess with the traditions kind of
Agree.
thing. I mean, I think she's a fabulous
She's
singer.
phenomenal.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's probably a. Never mind. I don't know if I can say that. That's sacrosanct. She has a bigger voice than Judy Garland, I think.
Oh,
I can't talk to-
Rachel's
remember-
leaving.
I
Rachel's
didn't say,
walking
I
off
didn't
the
say she
set
was a
right
better
now.
singer, but I think she might have a bigger voice.
There you go.
We're
At
not
least-
making eye contact.
She certainly used her voice in a bigger way on that song than Judy
That's
Garland.
funny.
Yeah, it's definitely a different version. Yeah, and I like that. But yes, and the whole point, like you said, is she's just phenomenal. What are you working on currently, other than talking about our game show, which we certainly appreciate that you are doing?
Well, I did an interview earlier this week with these two podcasters who have a thing coming up that they wanted some buzz about. They were doing it with
Little
these
something.
two other TV people.
It's just those
and,
two.
Yeah, the five of us hopped on Zoom. We had a good time. And next,
Wasn't that fun?
yeah, next week you might want to check out my story on YaJagoff and Pittsburgh Today Live's Name That Tune, YaJagoff.
When you got on that
thing.
Zoom, were you like, how the hell am I ever going to control this thing?
It was a lot.
Right.
What do
There
you
was a
mean?
lot-
I
there was a
controlled
lot
it. I
going
controlled
on.
it really well.
You do control well.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, no question about that. But when you first saw everybody
No, I
like
know.
goofing off, you're like, oh wow.
I think
gotta
you
read
heard me
this
during
already.
that interview try to pull you all back on occasion. And I think I did a pretty good job.
You did a great job.
I got what I needed. And the story's filed and ready to go. So
I
There
can't
you
wait.
go.
You are truly one of our favorite writers. So
I
we
try.
always want to know, what is it that's intriguing you now? Is there something that's out of your sort of zone, or something that you always give us like that aha, like, didn't know this was happening with this person I'm talking to? Has that happened lately?
What's intriguing me now? I mean, I don't think I can talk about my feelings on it yet, but I just saw Drive Away Dolls, the Ethan Coen movie that shot here
Yes.
a few years ago.
Okay.
There was a screening of it earlier this week. There will be coverage of that in the near
Okay.
future. I don't think I think I would break embargoes if I said anything else, but that's certainly on my radar. What's interesting me right now? Like I said, I'm just
Anything
happy
pop
people are back
culture?
to work.
Yeah.
I'm definitely waiting on more productions to come here. I'm waiting for an official announcement on season 2. I'm waiting we're finally going to see season 2 of American Rust.
Yes. I was going to ask you
They've
about
been
that.
holding that pretty close to the chest.
Okay.
Rumor has it that it might end up on another Amazon platform. So we'll
Really?
see.
Well,
I don't want to report anything, but rumor has it that it might be in another. It might not be on Freevee.
Okay. Does your wife like the same things you do, so that you two can kind of chat about this all like incessantly, especially
fun-
now, right? It's the season.
The fun thing about our relationship is that I don't think she would ever turn on the TV if she wasn't with me. She was not a pop culture consumer, like, at all, really.
Okay.
And I think I've brought some bad habits out of her. But our kind of thing is that she knows I have to watch a ridiculous amount of stuff, and I get some grace.
Okay.
And when I think she would like it too, I usually wait to watch it with her. And I mean, I need to pick better shows for us to watch together.
there you go.
Is my take.
Okay.
We haven't-
Non-work shows.
I've watched. Yeah, even non-work shows. I feel like I haven't done a great job of like getting the creme de la creme for us to watch together.
Fair.
I need to do
Okay.
better about that. Although, and Monica reminded me of this earlier, we are watching True Detective Night Country together.
Oh,
right now.
Monica will be over because that is her
Right,
thing.
right,
She
right.
loves
That's our
that.
Sunday binge.
There you go.
Josh, where does
Okay.
everybody find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Jaxelberg with an H. You can find me on Instagram. I think I'm just at Jaxel22.
Yeah.
And then you can find my work on postgazette.com.
Nice. Now,
Now-
we don't have a question of the day.
Even
Oh,
though
boy.
you are a regular guest, did you bring us a junk drawer gift again?
Well, yeah. So if you recall last time, I forgot
Yes.
to do that and just gave you my old grad school ID.
I did remember, and I didn't want to make you feel guilty,
This
but
time, I actually remembered to bring you something
Okay.
at least.
Okay.
okay.
What? And we have.
Oh, it's a Trigosaurus.
It's a dragon.
It's
a dragon.
It's a Trigosaurus. I'm pretty sure I got that guy with a drink I ordered at a Game of Thrones bar in DC.
Oh,
circa,
That's
like,
what I meant.
2018.
That's what I meant. The
Yeah.
dragon.
I had two of them to go with my little Daenerys Targaryen
That's funny.
Funko Pop, and
Okay.
that and the other dragon are on my desk at work. And then I remembered, oh wait, she ended up with only one dragon anyway.
That fits
So-
perfectly into our junk drawer.
I couldn't. It's junk.
Now we're
I love
playing-
it.
It's good junk.
Now,
It's
as we're
good.
gearing up for the story that you wrote about, the Name That Tune YaJagoff game show, are you ready to play Name That Tune with us?
I mean, I'm not ready, but I'm gonna do it.
All right,
I
good.
mean,
All right.
for the record, I'm a movie and TV guy.
All
Music
right.
is not my
Well,
forte.
we're gonna
Well, John's
test.
not good at it either.
Yeah,
so let's see.
I'm not good. I can hum the song and get through it, but I don't know the names of it or who sang it.
Monica,
All right, Monica.
can we name that tune and how many bars?
4 seconds.
Okay, 4 seconds.
All right,
even
4
bars,
seconds.
right?
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
That sounded Britney Spearsy, but I'm. Oh, is that Hit Me Baby one more? No.
They all sound the same, Brittany.
Is that Oops, I Did It Again?
Oops,
Okay.
I did
look at
it again.
All right. At
Yeah,
least,
you
at least,
did
really,
well.
at least I know enough to get Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's
Josh
what I. That's
Axelrod.
the part I knew. Josh.
That was
And
good
I'm a,
stuff.
I'm a 2000s kid. I
You're-
gotta know that. Gotta know
That was perfect. See? Josh, always a pleasure. One more time, everybody finds you all on the platforms. Jaxelberg.
No. Twitter at Jaxelberg with an H.
With an
Instagram
H.
at Jaxel22. And then my actual stuff on post-gazette.com.
And make sure you check out the story that he did. He always does an amazing job. And he did it on us and PTL. And you can check it out next week. Thank you so
It'll
much
be in
for
Weekend
joining.
Mag. It'll be
Yes.
it'll be in
Oh,
the
yeah,
print version
yeah.
next
Yes,
Thursday.
that's right. Next
Thank
up,
you.
we have
Cheers,
a big
guys.
announcement from Pittsburgh Magazine.
Welcome to Flamingan. Can I take your orders?
You need a tap in?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich to cook. Here we go.
Dig in.
It's John and Rachel. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig.
I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
PittsburghUsedCars.com with hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city. We provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com.
How did you come up with the concept? Because this isn't, you don't see this on every corner, a
Right.
type of place like this.
Yeah. It's kind of it's like merging my kind of 2 passions together, which is yoga and plants. I'm a certified herbalist and a certified aromatherapist, also a certified yoga teacher. And I have my degree in biology, so I spend a lot of time like doing botany, like out in the fields and working with plants then. We offer a variety of classes. Most of them are kind of based around plants. So, you know, aromatherapy is plants. Herbalism, where you're working with plants. It's making like your personal care items.
doing some yoga there in Beaver County, and
Grows and flows.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. Again, thanks to Dryer Vent Wizard for sponsoring that segment. We appreciate it. And next up, we're going to talk about this cover on Pittsburgh Magazine, right? Pittsburgher of the Year, Virginia. Welcome to the YaJagoff
Thank
Late
you.
Night.
This is such a pleasure.
Well, we get to see your face on the PMP calls regularly, Pittsburgh
Good.
Media Partnership.
Right.
And, we're always in awe of those like you and Josh, who we get to see doing their craft, just really, really doing such good things for our city. And so when I got to talk to you, and I was sort of hinting, like, who is the Pittsburgher?
I know. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you. I was
tell me.
expecting you to say, well, aren't you going to give me a hint?
Yeah,
Come on.
I fished a little bit, but I guess honestly, how could it not be?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I mean, it was really a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, we first, reached out to our readers to find out who they wanted, who they'd suggest, and Kutch. And I mean, he is so passionate about Pittsburgh, and we're so passionate about him.
Yeah. I have to admit, and I say this, I promise this is not something I say to everybody. My morning routine is to look through all of the different publications. So I'm looking, and as you know, the more you're looking, there's a common thread, right? There's
Exactly.
you know what the stories are, what's
Yeah,
trending.
Right.
Pittsburgh Magazine is among my favorites. Obviously,
So you're
Sean,
looking at our newsletter, right?
the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
So
very
I'm
important, our newsletter.
correct.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's why even when you messaged me, with the article, I said I already knew because I saw it the hour before.
Well, you must get up very
I
early.
do get up early.
I think they posted about 5:15 in the morning.
That's her. She's up
thinking,
before you
how did
post
she already
that.
know that?
Yeah, it was great though. But what I didn't know, surprisingly, was that you poll people. Somehow I missed that. I didn't know that readers could actually weigh in.
Yeah, we
I
reach
assumed
out
that
about
you-
August, because
Okay.
we have to start working on this and then
Yeah.
Christina Vivalis, she's done
It's a
many
great
of our
story.
Pittsburgher of
Yeah.
the Year. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
So, even though you didn't write it, do you know what it was like talking to him, or what the
Well,
vibe?
you know what? He was actually negotiating for his new contract about the time we were trying to get interviews. So we had a very limited number of minutes,
Right.
literally. Even all the photos that you see were done in 20 minutes by
Oh,
Laura
wow.
Petrilla.
Oh,
yeah, it was amazing. So you have to work fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
I failed to mention that you're the editor of Pittsburgh
Yes,
Magazine.
exactly.
So you're the boss.
She's
Right.
the
Right.
honcho. Yeah,
I
Right,
am
so-
head honcho.
So when you
Be nice to her, she said.
That's right. When you're going through this, like when you look at all of the Pittsburghers, like it's like picking a favorite child. I'd have to think who the best. But when you see Kutch come up as the winner of the poll, you have to go like, oh, that's a good one, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So as the editor, you rejoice, and then what are you doing then? Is once you know this is happening, how are you keeping it a secret? You're going out socially, you know.
Well,
and-
they had to reach out to the advertisers, and
Okay.
we asked them to please keep it quiet.
Oh, wow.
And then we were out at Fan Fest for the Pirates Fan Fest taking
sure.
pictures of him, and that was, of course, before it was
Okay.
announced, and probably people were looking and going, oh,
Yeah, sure.
So
How did that concept even come to be, right? Pittsburgher of the Year. Was
I think
somebody
it was
just
probably
hadn't done
started,
it?
Yeah, now you're asking me for the history. I think it's been done for about 25 years or 20 years.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
it is a legacy.
Exactly.
But
And
how-
sometimes they've had 2 or 3 people, and it actually, he's not the first time he's done this. He was on.
Oh, here, I'll hold that up.
So he had a lot to do with the Pirates being the 2014 Pittsburghers of the Year because
Okay.
of his performance and everything. That's 2013, 2014, 2015 when they were winning
Sure.
teams. I mean, everybody was gaga over
Sure.
the Pirates.
Sure.
It was so great.
And that's where I was going to go with it, because I don't like the negativity of everybody has an opinion, and I understand.
Right,
and I
right.
don't love the negativity around, the Pirates. But he brought hope back.
Well,
and that's what I
exactly.
like seeing is the
Yeah.
fact that he's now on the cover of this magazine.
Right.
It is so near and dear to so many
Right.
Pittsburghers, saying kind of like, hey,
Well,
it's
I
gonna
mean,
be okay.
he's back home now. I
Exactly.
mean, even though he was born in Fort Meade, which is a little citrus town south of Orlando. I grew up in Orlando, so I know that
okay.
area. He was really hurt when they traded him.
Sure.
And he actually had circled the date that he was going to be back with the Giants at PNC Park. He was dreading it, but then the fans gave him a 90-second standing
right.
ovation, and my husband was in the stand, and he was crying. He
I
literally
have chills
cried.
thinking about it. Yeah, right.
When,
Because
when, when a
once
Pittsburgher
a
loves
Pitts-
you,
yeah.
when a Pittsburgher
Exactly.
hates you, they hate
exactly.
you.
And
Right?
so
Right,
he was
Cleveland Browns?
gone, for 5 years,
Yes.
4 different teams. And he never sold his house in the North Hills.
Yeah.
He was hoping that he'd be back.
I love that.
And he's back.
And the
you know?
story chronicles that very well.
Exactly.
You know, you have to
Exactly.
read the story because it really does unveil
Right.
the way he felt. And it makes you even more in his corner, you know,
Exactly.
and wanting to
Exactly.
kind
The
of
fact
hope
that
for the
he
best.
has any place in the world to live, and he picks
Right.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, who wouldn't?
Well, and what's nice about Pittsburgh is like Christina, there's an anecdote about how he takes his kids to Ross Park Mall. There's
Right.
a children's area, a play area, and nobody bothers him. He's there with his 3 kids, and nobody comes up, asks for autographs. They're just very chill. They go, "Oh, there he is."
Good
You know?
Yeah.
And that's Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes you get the, hey, will
Well,
you
you
sign
probably
my
get
shirt?
mobbed for autographs, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
No, just
Yes.
to sign my parking ticket or my speeding citation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Virginia, you spoke a little bit about this. You're not originally from Pittsburgh, but you've
No,
been here for quite some time.
I happened to be dragged to Pittsburgh by a boomeranger. My husband left in I think 1980, and I'm sorry, 1976. And then he came back after law school and dragged me with him because I was from Florida. And the city had changed so much when he left for college, and when he came back, he said it's just such a different city. We have to live here, and it was affordable.
Yeah.
This
You
is
know?
the part
So
we're
true.
allowed to get angry when Rachel goes, I was born in 1976.
Well, I'm a bicentennial baby, so
Okay.
anytime
Yeah.
someone says 1976, that's
So
what I
you're like,
say.
oh, shush. Shush.
I mean,
So
that's my pickup line. I've been married for 24 years, but it's my pickup line. I was born
Okay.
in 1976.
How about that?
Virginia Linn, the editor of Pittsburgh Magazine. Where can everybody follow the magazine online?
PittsburghMagazine.com.
Yeah.
And then you can sign up for all sorts of newsletters. We have the 412, which
Yep.
comes out almost every day of the week. We have Nest, which is like home design
Yes.
and real estate. Those real estate stories are unbelievably
They are
popular.
very good. Yeah.
Unbelievably
Yeah.
popular.
And now you have Be Well, right?
And we have Be Well
Yeah.
that comes out on Mondays, and when we have PGH Eats, I believe that
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out on Wednesday. And
With
that's
our friend
of course
Christy.
restaurant
Yes.
coverage. And you probably had Christy on.
Yes.
here,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Christy's
yeah.
great.
We've seen
Yeah.
her a lot.
Very
well, she lives
prolific.
in this area,
Right.
and I know her well.
Well,
from-
you're going to have to invite her because for the March-April edition because she's eaten a lot of burgers.
Okay.
Whoa,
Yeah,
I love
and,
that.
And so,
Well, John's
and there's
always-
going to be fun things coming up in the summer that'll
Okay.
be open to the public that have to do with food. So
Your invitation or anybody's
Absolutely.
invitation to come back.
Yeah,
This is your
that's it.
passport. Just
Yes.
call and we'll let you in.
Well,
Okay.
and listen,
Yeah.
I have to shout her out because I'm actually in the
March,
March-April.
April.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I'm
you
pretty
are.
excited for that.
My best of the Berg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Q&A.
As she is.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
is.
you're very
As she
kind.
is,
But it was
so.
a great conversation because some things you kind of forget, you know, some of
Yeah.
the questions. But anyway, but I appreciated that. So thank
Yeah,
you so much.
this is great.
And obviously, we want to have you back on, just like Josh, so that we can find out what Pittsburgh Magazine has its finger on the pulse of Pittsburgh.
Well, we've been around for
regularly.
55 years,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're really a lot more than just a magazine. now.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's all these events that we plan.
Sure.
I mean, we're
You're a
extending our
presence, right.
brand.
Yeah, you're a brand. you're a
Right. I mean,
presence,
it's
yeah.
just more and more and more
Yeah.
what we're doing.
We love
So,
it.
yeah.
All right,
This
did
is
you bring
awesome.
us a gift since
you
we
Did.
invited
Well, I
you?
just
We're-
brought merch.
Okay, merch is
Oh, okay.
fine.
We
It's-
love
it's-
merch.
If you
We're-
consider
we're
it junk,
cheap
we're
and
fine.
easy.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
But
There
this
you go.
is this
Here,
was
I'll
the
hold
last.
up. How
This
about
is the
that?
last Best of the Berg party in 2019 before the
Oh, my
pandemic, and we haven't
God.
had one since.
I know. How sad, I think.
And
yeah,
then
very-
a pen.
well, who doesn't
Okay,
need a pen?
so
Thank
we're
you.
scribes, you know. So it's just merch. It's nothing exciting like a
It's
dragon.
exciting. This I can feel. It's a good pen. Did you see that?
This is actually the third T-shirt we received.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Have you
this
share
is
them?
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
We share the T-shirts.
Right. We hang them on our cubicle here.
There you go.
Uh,
all right, Virginia.
all right.
Here's the part. As you
the
know,
music.
we're
I'm
playing
not good at
PTL.
music. Okay.
I love that everybody is giving these clauses. I'm
no,
not
no,
good at
I'm
music.
really bad at
She
music.
rolled her eyes,
Yeah.
just like Josh did. So,
Yeah,
Well,
but
let's
Josh
see.
actually knew it
It's not
because
a
it was
Yeah,
fan
he
favorite.
did know it.
Yeah, he was on it. All right.
Okay.
So Monica's going to play the song. You try to guess it. You can ask her to replay it. No
And
problem.
then I'm going to
But
embarrass myself because
You
it's
will
good.
not.
Everybody else will know the song
No.
but me.
we're ready.
Oh, I actually know that one. Look at Rachel.
Try not to make eye contact because I know.
Mitch
Mitch Dugan.
Sorry.
Listen to Mitch Dugan.
See, you know the song,
it,
I know
right?
the song, but I don't know the
It's
name.
ABBA.
It's ABBA.
That's
Yes.
right.
I hate
Okay.
ABBA, but
Right.
I mean, the
Okay.
I
song,
can't
it is
believe
what it is.
Monica let ABBA on our podcast.
Yeah.
'Cause Rachel hates
Do you
them.
know how much I hate ABBA? My daughter loves
That
it,
is
so it's fine.
Virginia Lynn,
Thank
you
you.
so much
It
for
was a
taking
pleasure.
time
It
with
was so
us.
much fun.
It's
we
always a
appreciate
pleasure.
Okay.
Yes, you have to
Okay.
come back. We appreciate it, and make sure
Okay.
you read the story because it was an amazing story
It
about
was a
an
good
amazing
story.
Pittsburgher.
It was
So
a
thank
good
you so
story.
much.
All right.
Coming up next, we're going to chat with the one and only Mitch D-U-G-A-N, and I think we're going to make sure you see some G-Jet. Stay with us, YaJagoff Late Night.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
People used to celebrate hard work, the spirit of the underdog. You don't hear too much about those things anymore. The world needs more problem solvers, people who know results matter, folks with brains and elbow grease. Our work runs through just about every office building in the city like a network of veins. It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are.
hands-on cooking. And the second part of this class will be that we're going to sit down, we're going to eat, we're going to have a discussion over lunch.
Let's talk about what you're making and how it's connected to your book.
Sure.
But as far as, what significance does this recipe or recipes, things that you're making today, but what is the significance for you, your family, how it's all connected?
So, food is family, food is love. And obviously my parents owned the Prima Donna for almost 20 years. And so whenever I came up with this idea to do a cook and book, people like to talk about book, but they definitely, because there is such a food element behind this, they love the Prima Donna food and they miss the Prima Donna food. And so really, these are family recipes that we're making today, which actually kind of helped to stem from the Prima Donna.
Our next guest is hamming it up, singing Feelings.
Yes, there you go.
Feelings,
But before
right.
we talk to the one and only Mitch D-U-G-A-N, we do a little segment called Jeet Jet, and our dear friend Tressa went over with Michaela to talk to Maria Palmer, who was in town talking about On the Rocks, the book that we've talked about a million times. Her dad and she do this great book and cook event, and we got some recipes from the Prima Donna, so make sure you check that out. Meantime, did you check out that we talked to Mitch D-U-G-A-N this morning on our Toyota tailgate? We had so much fun,
Right.
and we got him to talk Pittsburgh, and we got him to do the VENZA for Avenza.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
thank God it was 5 letters because it worked out.
And then he got hired as an influencer, and we got fired.
Yes,
Yes,
we no
so
longer have jobs.
Mitch
Yeah.
D-U-G-A-N, D-U-G-A-N, welcome to the YaJagoff podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my gosh. So,
So you
first-
say Jeet Jet, and I think nope, Jupe.
Nope, Jupe. That's right. That's
That is
You're
great.
the only one that has known that answer.
Jupe.
See, true Pittsburgh. There
That
you
is
go.
so true.
Yeah.
But no, truer Pittsburgh is that you showed up this morning and you went to high school with one of the salespeople there. Like, and you
Hadn't
reminisced.
seen him in years.
Yeah, but then you get here tonight and find out that 2 people here went to the same high school.
Right.
How crazy is that?
Taylor Alderdice.
Yeah, there you go. How about that?
Class of, I'm not saying.
Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
So we have a big announcement with you, Mitch. We're going to tease now, but hold for later. But just tell us a little bit about you. Like, you're Pittsburgh, born and bred, never left, or really didn't even need to boomerang back because you're just here, right?
You like mold, yeah. No, I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. Like we talked about, I went to Alderdice High School.
Yeah.
I went away for college, came back, went to Pitt Law, and decided to stay here and practice law in Pittsburgh. And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. And I think what we learn very quickly about people in Pittsburgh, either they leave and they've come back and realize, as Virginia said, that it's a whole new place, or they've stayed and sort of ridden through the craziness and the chaos to be in this city that's booming now. What is your biggest takeaway? Is it amazing to you to see? I mean, I always say we were a coal town, right? And now there's all these different businesses. What is something that resonates with you that you say, I never thought Pittsburgh would be this?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
But I definitely remember, the transition during the Caligiuri years.
Okay.
Right? Steel was big and it
For
was
sure.
starting to decline. And they did a good job with I think it was the Renaissance and all that.
Sure.
And they really did a really good job of keeping Pittsburgh alive and moving in business forward. And they're still trying to do that. It's a struggle, obviously, but yeah, I think it's great. And now we've got all kinds of restaurants.
Yes.
When I was growing up, I don't remember as many restaurants. I mean, we didn't really go out to restaurants when we were kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
There were a handful, and that was it. Yeah. And now we're becoming a foodie town.
Mitch, did you see Rachel hit me just in the last segment?
Well, tell him why.
I need an attorney.
No.
I need an attorney because she
there's
hit
no
me.
fee.
Personal injury. Yeah.
Unless we get you money or the benefits you deserve. 1-888-99 D-U-G-A-N. Right?
I love it. If you're listening to it on the radio or on the podcast, you need to make sure you go watch the video because the smile that he ends that D-U-G-A-N thing with is so funny. So we know that you're from Pittsburgh, and we started a project with you called the Mitch Minute, which is going to be featured here on the podcast every week, where you're not talking law, you're talking just Pittsburgh things, right? How's that?
Right.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I mean, Pittsburgh has so much to offer. We've talked about this many times. I mean, the sports teams, the culture, the entertainment, the museums, the parks, the restaurants. I mean,
you're a Pittsburgher true and true. And I think part of the reason that we wanted to show this was you are so into your work, as we've noticed from doing some of the videos with you. You throw yourself into your work, which means you are true to your craft, but you appreciate the city in which you live.
Right, and I appreciate the people here.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's the thing that makes Pittsburgh special is the people.
Yeah.
And you go anywhere in the world, and and somebody, you say you're from Pittsburgh, and like we've talked about, they probably know you. They probably, if they're from Pittsburgh or from Greensburg, they're from Pittsburgh. We were somewhere recently, and they're from Pittsburgh, and they're like, where? And they're like, Altoona.
That's funny. Yeah.
But that's how it is. The people in Western Pennsylvania, it's a great area, and we represent people. Altoona, State College, Erie, Uniontown, Sharon, you name it, Washington, PA, everywhere.
And I think that's the key to the message that we're working on you with is the fact that, listen, somebody might seem a lot glitzy and have all this fast talking kind of thing, but the fact is you're a Pittsburgher. I could come and sit in your office. I can talk to you. I can meet you for a drink or a sandwich or whatever. You're here.
Yeah, and I actually work the cases. You might see me on TV, but I'm actually working the cases.
Yeah.
That's
no comment about other firms.
Yeah.
He is hysterical. What I learned very quickly at one of our first meetings was you are relatable, and it's easy to sit and have a conversation with you. Is that something that you learned through your years of practicing law?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it's from my family. I mean, they were very down-to-earth people, working-class people. And my grandfather was the kind of guy, he could walk up, sit next to anybody, anywhere, and just start up a conversation. And I was very close with him growing up, and he was a flower delivery driver,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and people loved him. And a quick story. One time we're at a restaurant with my family. It was actually Pole Eyes in Squirrel Hill. It was like some special occasion.
Love that place.
I think it was
Yeah.
my grandmother's birthday. And my grandfather goes to the restroom, and he comes back out of the restroom with Art Rooney, Sr., and he's introducing everybody to us. This is my, and he sat down and was like, well, do you know him? And he's like, no, I just met him in the restroom.
Stop it. That
So
is so
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Funny.
And
Oh
that is
my
something
gosh.
that you would have found. In fact, how interesting, because Virginia Linn said Pole-Eye Restaurant is one of the most commonly answered answers as far as people who want to bring back restaurants.
Oh, wow.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine
that
why.
was in Squirrel Hill for years.
Yeah.
But it was
First
a
time.
fancy
It's a staple.
restaurant. It was like special occasion.
Oh, for sure.
First time I ever had filet mignon.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really? What's it taste like? I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Someone else bought it for me. That's
Did
for
you
sure.
end up at Rico's today?
No.
Oh,
But
okay,
we're
'cause
we're
that's
gonna,
a good place
We're
too.
going to. We're thinking Mexican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Emiliano's.
we
locally
love
owned.
Emiliano's. Yeah.
Even Monica likes Emiliano's.
It's locally
Yeah,
locally owned,
She
too.
gives it
Yes.
yes.
Look
Right.
at you doing your
Just
research
like
on
you,
Pittsburgh.
Just like you.
There
All
you
right,
go.
so we have the Mitch Minute coming up, but in the meantime, did you bring something for our junk drawer?
Well, I thought it was supposed to be from my junk drawer.
It is from your
that's-
junk
yes.
drawer. Mitch,
Okay.
listen, Mitch, we didn't. You're right. Here's what we didn't do. We didn't explain to people that we keep
We
it.
need an attorney to review that language.
I
so
know.
people
Where
know.
was he
If you
then?
have any waivers you need reviewed, let me know. I'm pretty good at that.
Right.
I can look for the loopholes.
So what did you bring?
So I brought this ball of rubber bands, and this is when I first went on my own. I initially out of law school, I was working for somebody, and then I left and went on my own. And we shared space with another firm as an attorney and his secretary. And she would put rubber bands in a ball, and that's how she'd save them. She had this huge, it was bigger than a softball.
Okay.
And I started doing that at work and at home. And it's a great way to keep rubber bands. And this was in my junk drawer, and that's...
And for those listening on the radio or the
love that.
podcast, it's almost the size of a tennis ball.
Yeah.
Right now.
yeah, well, it was bigger, but I used some of them.
And I feel like we're wrong for telling him that we need to keep it. Like,
Yeah,
it's his
no,
thing.
we can't
it's his
keep it.
heirloom.
You can keep it. I'll get,
No,
believe me,
he'll sue
rubber
us.
bands.
Look at him.
Yeah.
We're tight with Mitch Dugan. I don't
Mitch,
even know how to
Are you
start
ready to,
this
Are
conversation.
you ready to
at
play
home.
Name That Tune with us?
Sure, I'm terrible at
Oh,
This is why we offer
the only
alcohol,
one
because
not terrible at this game is Rachel. That's why she wants
Yeah.
to play it.
this. By the way, we were having a big pizza conversation in the back before I got on about best pizza in Pittsburgh. You talk about Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's
Pittsburgh,
a
yeah.
good one. John
right.
will fight you on that because he
Monica.
has certain thoughts. Okay, sorry, you don't want to talk pizza? We're ready for it. All right, Monica, can you play Name That Tune? Go.
That's a good one.
What? Oh. Weasel.
And Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire.
Weezer.
No, it's Billy Joel. We didn't.
Oh,
start
Billy
the
Joel, we didn't start
fire.
the fire.
Yeah.
You
That's
were
right.
mouthing. We didn't start the fire, and he thought it was Weasel. I caught on.
That's
That's exactly what
Saw
happened.
the wee.
That was my
the
office manager.
wee, no longer.
No, she's great. She
No,
is.
okay, all right.
She's
she
the
is
best.
We
great.
do have to give her a shout out because she
She's
makes sure
phenomenal.
that she's always there with us to make sure that you're
And-
doing what you're supposed to be
And
doing.
she's
right?
great with our clients.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
on top of everything. She's
So when
awesome.
you hire Mitch Dugan, D-U-G-A-N, do it.
D-U-G-A-N.
There you go. You get
Dugan
Heather
Law.
too. All right, coming up right now
.com.
is the very first Mitch Minute, the premiere showing here. It's about hiking. YaJagoff Late Night.
I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and it's got everything anybody could want. There's a lot of things in Pittsburgh I like to do. Pittsburgh has a lot to offer, I think, being born and raised here. The parks are one of them, and there's lots of places to hike in and around Pittsburgh. I started hiking, I think, during COVID, like most people, getting out of the house because, cabin fever, that kind of thing. I mean, Pittsburgh's great, right? You have, Shenley Park, Frick Park. You can go out to McConnell's Mill, Raccoon State Park. I'm not prepared to randomly hike. No. It's all, I'm prepared to work. That's all I do. So if I'm going to go hiking or biking or something, it's definitely I have to do it around my work schedule. I always take my cell phone with me wherever I go. I'm checking my emails more than everybody likes. Well, it depends on the weather, right? So, I think it's heavily dependent on the weather and how you dress. So that would be most important. Socks and shoes. Tennis shoes, if it's a short hike, or I have some hiking shoes, which are, fancy tennis shoes, right? Right. And, you just download an app on your phone in case you get lost, you know where you're going is a good thing to have. And if it's a hot summer day, then you definitely want to have bug spray. If you're worried about ticks, probably long sleeves, and a bottle of water bring with you if it's a hot day. Does this get edited? Did you guys edit these?
Yes, that's exactly.
Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
At People's Natural Gas, we provide clean, safe, reliable natural gas. We're always looking to get cleaner as we continue to protect our environment. And that's also why we support organizations like the National Aviary that are focused around the clock on conservation. Let's hear from them about some of their efforts.
A lot of people know about the National Aviary, but not a lot of people know all the conservation work that the National Aviary does. We are part of a lot of conservation work out in the field, and we do things here at the National Aviary. Staff members like myself are part of a lot of different projects. To learn more about the conservation work that the National Aviary does, you can check out our website, aviary.org.
We're also always working to make our environment cleaner through our work. That's why we've reduced emissions since 2019 by 17% over 2019 figures.
Rach, I have to vent. Here's my dryer vent. This one time, I found a Lee press-on nail in my dryer stuff, and it was not mine.
Bomb in the throat, bomb in the throat.
Ugh.
One time, my kids left Kleenexes from one of their worst whooping coughs in their pocket.
Guys, you guys are such jagoffs. That's not the type of dryer venting we're talking about. We professionally clean your dryer vent to increase your dry time and save you guys some money.
For 4 hours. Wet, like 10 pounds
you
wet.
Jagoffs, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
John and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night. And if you enjoyed the Mitch Minutes, make sure you tune in because he's going to be giving us minutes every week. And now we get to have some music. We're talking to two pretty cool musicians. Adam Ballin's here from Drusky Entertainment. Always interested in talking to him. He let us call him the wrong name for years.
Right.
And now that we know it's right, we say it over and over.
I just got it. It's Valentine minus the time. That's
I know.
the key.
And that's how I remember.
It's your time to shine, Valentine.
Valentine.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
introduced us to Ben, and I called him the wrong name. I said, this is a Kahone project. He's like, or Kahone concept. There you go. But we interviewed you on the radio not too long ago.
Yeah,
we
like a
talked
year
about
ago.
that. Yeah.
I actually
you got some award at Heartwood
Yes.
Acres, right?
Yeah, well, it was one competition to get to play a big music festival there.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So yeah, and
It was
actually,
the
Wonderworks.
Yes.
More importantly, I'm the one that told you about how to pronounce his last name because it was
are.
just around the same time that he had told me.
Blew
I
it,
went
man.
years thinking it was Valen.
Oh, get out.
You blew it.
And
You
then
blew
why
my cover.
wouldn't you want to be like Eddie Van
Van Halen, yeah,
Valen.
yeah,
Like it's
shorthand.
like this, you know.
So don't feel too bad
music.
about it because he
Okay,
let me
cool.
do it for years.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
There you go.
And then one day he was in my kitchen, finally told me about it, and I'm like,
I got to tell you something.
I just try to make it as anticlimactic as possible.
yeah.
Well, we always look for an excuse to talk to you, Adam. It's always a
Yeah.
fun time, and we're so happy that we could connect in person with Ben. So tell us, like, what has life been like since you won, since you're the guy?
Well, I own a helicopter now.
Oh, wow. You're a 56-year-old helicopter.
56-year-old
Yeah.
helicopter.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a license because since I did the music festival, people are like,
Oh,
don't
he's
need.
that cool.
Yeah, he's that
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Right.
So they let me fly around and kind of
Yeah.
do my own
That's
thing.
fantastic.
And you're best friends with our musician from last week.
Yeah, Elvis
Caleb.
Presley.
Yeah.
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 Wait, what did he call him? The poor version of
Harry
Styles.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he said Walmart, but I gave him the Dollar General. He's more of a Dollar General kind
He
of guy.
really did have a good time, though. I don't know if he told you. Like, he was like, you know, he was like your typical afterward. He's like, this was seriously fun. And I was
Yeah.
like, I know. We're not that bad.
He is a good time.
Yeah.
We hang out all the time. And
so funny. He's a great musician.
Yeah, I wish a camera crew followed us around because it's honestly like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
24/7.
Tell us
So,
a little
yeah,
bit
about
about
you.
your music. Like,
Sure.
what are you doing that's different? Because we know that it's different.
Yeah, so actually, you asked what's gone on since I did that music festival
Yeah.
and now. So with my music, probably the biggest thing is I recently broke a world record for I'm one of the first artists to incorporate the electric bagpipes. So you plug in a little XLR cable into them.
I'm looking at Adam because I don't know if this is true. Okay,
It
go
is,
ahead.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, we can fact check it later, but
So Guinness Book of World Records won't acknowledge it because I guess they need to send someone out, and that
Yes.
costs money.
It does.
And it's
There's ways around it. You know, you can video it.
really, and then they don't charge you.
There's there's still a fee, but it's not.
Okay, yeah, well,
there's a lot.
The manager here said we got to cut expenses because we got a show.
Yeah, I got to be budget. We got to be budget.
Like, we need gas money to get to
Yeah.
McKnight Road for
Yeah.
the podcast.
AI can't do all this for you, my friend.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's pretty cool, though.
So what is your music style? What are you playing as the Kahone concept?
So it's a good old fashioned pop.
Okay.
Right? So got some 4 on the floor, little kicks and claps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some harmonies.
Okay.
And then my primary musician, whenever I'm playing live, is a 2014 MacBook Pro, right? So if you come see me live, you'll see that and you'll be like, wow, I could have just stayed home and listened on Spotify.
No, because
you're selling yourself short, man.
Yes, you definitely are.
So my main thing is I write and produce. So I record everything on my own. I'm doing a song a month right now. And so I started off in an attic, moved to my parents' garage, then moved to a basement, and then now I'm just kind of in the corner, like by this like furnace. So yeah, I
listen. It got a little better. You're by the thermostat.
Yeah, now you're at a
here.
thermostat here.
Yeah,
I feel right at home actually.
For someone who doesn't know, what is the instrument that you play? Like so that someone can understand. Do
Yeah.
you sit on it?
So the Kahone concept, yeah, you're supposed to sit on the drum and play. Actually, that has nothing to do with the name. When I was like 16, 17, I wanted to come up with a name. And at the time, I was taking a woodshop class in high school. And each semester, or whatever you call it in high school, you had to build one project. And since I like music, I'm like, what is easier than a box? So I just built a little square, and I drew a little logo on it.
There you go.
That's
And
funny.
yeah, and I was drawing it everywhere, and people were
There
like, what's that? And I'm like, it's just the Kahone symbol.
I love it.
There you go. And now the rest is history.
We are going to hear you play some music.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in the meantime,
With
did
a
you bring
laptop.
something for our junk drawer?
Yeah, I did. I brought a couple things.
I like that he
actually.
laughed. Adam, and
I thought you were
full
reaching for the
disclosure,
big
Adam did
guitar
not know.
case.
I
Yeah.
was reaching for some
I
nunchucks.
did find something. I did find.
Did you go through our own junk drawer to re-gift
Yeah, I went
us?
through it.
Oh, what do we got here?
Everybody's
Brought you a
desk.
koozie.
Oh, a Kahone,
Kahone
concept
koozie.
All
A
right,
Kahone
all right.
koozie.
Who doesn't need
Well,
that?
look
Oh,
at
you
the
brought us
point.
multiple.
You're like a
T-shirts?
Brought some shirts for you guys.
Oh my God, I love that we have merch. This is so.
You're
we'll wear
like
them
Lee
next week.
Terbosa. You just keep pulling stuff out of your hat.
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff in here.
Wow.
I even have my social security card in here. Oh. You weren't supposed to see this. That's for me. All right, so for the drunk,
I love it.
Drunk
Yeah,
drawer.
junk
For the
drawer.
junk
The
drawer.
drunk drawer
The
is.
drunk drawer is
Hold
something
on.
different.
This thing's actually 5 feet deep, so I got.
Yeah, you just keep going in that bag.
Yes.
I'm trying to do it with
Go
one
ahead,
hand.
you're fine.
do it,
Adam,
do it.
do you have one? Seriously?
I
he's
did,
pulling
and
his...
it's not for any of you. It's for my.
All right.
Oh,
What?
For the junk drawer.
Oh my God! For those listening, he gave us a hot dog on a bun. What would it take for me to eat this?
John, please don't eat it.
Hey,
He's not kidding. John, don't eat
is it safe?
Oh
2
my
hours
God.
ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Where
Now?
did you get it?
This is like the Yinzer version of
So
like
that's
hot ones. in a weird
that's
way.
actually a gecko hot dog.
Weird way,
It's a
yes.
gecko hot
It's a
dog.
gecko hot dog. I'm usually a Sheets guy, right?
Same.
Wow.
Yes.
But for the first time I went to Gecko, I was very impressed. It's a good quality hot dog.
So you bought
Dude.
2 and you put one in your bag.
Actually, okay. So actually, I went to go get hot. I love hot dogs, so I went to
Okay.
order 2, or maybe I was ordering 4. But they come in pairs of 2, so I actually got 8 hot dogs.
Oh my.
So I have like 7 other hot dogs just sitting in my car right now.
Oh my God!
Oh
you could have
my.
brought them up.
Oh, I
Instead of
didn't know
eating-
the vibe.
Yeah.
Comes
Well, it's
with
a hot
catering
dog
costs.
vibe for
Right?
sure. It's a stadium hot
I
dog
didn't-
vibe.
Hysterical.
I didn't know
Adam,
the
what did you
vibe.
bring us?
Well, now it's appropriate because I brought this for you
Oh.
because I want you to know that you're your mommy's little star.
Oh,
Mommy's
Oh,
rock
you got a little
star.
I love that
20
one guest is
20,
Even though
gifting
it's,
22,
another.
City
even though
Parks
it's
adult.
secretly my swimming pool pass from 2023.
Put that.
Thank you. Yeah,
that
with
in
the
the
hot
time
dog.
capsule.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Nice.
time capsule.
Nice.
All right, we're super stoked because we want to actually hear you. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, can you guys play a little Name That Tune real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, Monica, do we have a second for Name That Tune? All right. Uh-oh. See.
No rain.
No
by
rain.
Melon.
Rain, yeah.
That was so good. That was really good. I knew
You
you'd get it.
guys, you
All right,
guys.
we played enough Name That Tune. We appreciate you guys. Where does everybody find you?
Spotify, iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at Kahone Concept.
CahoneConcept.com.
Easy.
KahoneConcept.sale.cloroxwipes.com.
All right, you're going to get to hear him perform next on YaJagoff Late Night.
If my younger self could see me doing these things now, I wouldn't believe it. To be a steam fitter, you need to be a problem solver. You can do instrumentation, hydronics, chillers, rigging, HVAC. I have this wonderful opportunity to grow my career.
It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are. Over 100 years, and we're just getting started.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
Rach, I have to vent. Here's my dryer vent. This one time, I had found a lead press-on nail in my dryer stuff, and it was not mine.
Vom in the throat. One time, my kids left Kleenexes from one of their worst whooping coughs in their pocket.
Guys, you guys are such jagoffs. That's not the type of dryer venting we're talking about. We professionally clean your dryer vent to increase your dry time and save you guys some money.
For 4 hours. Wet, like 10 pounds
you
wet.
Jagoffs, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
Hi, my name is Ben, a.k.a. Kahone Jabroni. This song's called Trashy State of Mind. It's the love child of Coldplay and Toby Keith. Here goes. Oh, my Lord, this place is fine. I've got nothing on my mind, and I'm just floating. I kind of feel like getting toasted. Walking through lobbies with no shirt on. If I pay, I get the mostest. Ooh-wee. I've got a trashy state of mind, packing lunch and saving dimes. Ooh-wee. If it's free, that's where I'll be. My trashy habits follow me. Bacon, eggs with smuggled wine. Continental lens and 9, and I'm still floating. I kind of feel like getting toasted. Flip through the brochure, find some coupons. Looks like I'll get my hotel pool on. Ooh-wee. I've got a trashy state of mind, packing lunch and saving dimes. If it's free, that's where I'll be. My trashy habits follow me. Hey, you're just as important if you pay. I've got a trashy state of mind, packing lunch and saving dimes. Ooh, if it's free, that's where I'll be. My trashy habits follow me. Thank you very much. I'm Kahone Concept. Got a show May 11th at Thunderbird Music Hall. It's the greatest show.
Wait, grab the mic. Go ahead, do it.
Got a show May 11th at Thunderbird Music Hall. It's called The Greatest Show with the greatest hits. We got Sweat, Melt, Hot Dogs. Gonna try to hire a clown and a balloon guy. So.
Oh my gosh!
That is pretty awesome.
Oh
wow.
my goodness, that's a party. That's for sure. Now, have you played there before?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, and what makes that a great venue?
The bathrooms are pretty clean, and that's
always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, some of these places you play,
I'm sure
they got wooden toilet seats, and in a public setting, you don't want that.
No.
Now, what kind of ritual do you have before you go on stage? Do you not eat? Do you eat? Do you eat?
Hot dogs in a bag.
Because right now this is about going to happen here.
Please don't do it.
Usually it's oh crap, we got to go play.
Oh,
like
is that right? Yeah.
We're in the middle of doing some shenanigans or something.
So do you like to get to the venues early?
Yeah, it depends on the show. My favorite ones are the ones where you don't have to bring anything; you just show up.
Okay.
And then other ones, I got to like bring lights and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's fun, but you got to get there earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
But
okay.
We appreciate that Adam Valen, Valen, they hooked us up with you because we the fact that you won this thing and we didn't reconnect until right now. We appreciate
I've been calling you guys nonstop.
Well, Michaela, she does.
Yeah,
she's new.
It's either Michaela, Johnny, or
Monica. You're each of your personal mobile phones. Ring off the hook.
New phone, who dis?
Yeah.
Who dis? Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. Your website one more time.
KahoneConcept.com.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more so because there's still some time until May 11th, but obviously Drusky Entertainment brings some great shows.
Yeah,
right?
they're presenting it along with WYEP, which
Look
I don't
at that.
think
Yeah,
I
we'll cut that.
There'll be a boop noise right there. Yeah.
Did you notice we didn't talk about other attorneys?
Yeah,
we didn't
I know.
But you had to throw the radio station.
Yeah. We give that the old bleep. Listen, I'm blushing.
Bleep. We love a bleep.
Good to meet you, Willie Nelson. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Dryer Vent Wizard. Thank you to Mitch Dugan. Thank you to Fifth Influence for bringing us Mitch Dugan.
Yeah.
And thank you to Virginia Linn from the Pittsburgh Magazine. And Kutch, thank you for all you bring to Pittsburgh, right?
So true, yeah.
And thanks to Josh Axelrod.
You remembered absolutely everybody. I had nothing to say. That was awesome.
That?
Yeah.
You forgot
Q92. Time for you to say something
I'm
right
speechless.
now.
Yeah, I wanted to play a round of Name That Tune because I thought we had time, but clearly you don't want to play against me. So that just means that you need to come see us play against Team PTL next week at the Pierce Studio in the Cultural District, all for good causes. I think that our team's going to win.
Yeah,
we're full of radio personalities.
Get your tickets
all
on
good.
YaJagoff.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.